Right now, something has shifted in the invisible architecture of reality. This isn't chance. The universe doesn't operate on accidents or random events. Every click, every choice, every subtle pull toward this moment has been orchestrated by forces beyond ordinary perception. A hidden intelligence woven into the quantum fabric itself has guided your consciousness to this exact threshold, and the fact that these words are reaching your awareness proves that your frequency is ready to recognize what most people never see. Feel it, that faint vibration humming beneath your skin, the subtle pressure behind your eyes, the quiet knowing that something profound is unfolding. These aren't imagined sensations. They're recognition signals from your energetic field responding to a vibrational upgrade that's been building momentum for longer than you realize. Your body is reacting because it knows before your conscious mind does. The old timeline, the one built from past limitations and familiar patterns, is whispering its final echoes. And somewhere deep within you, fragments of awareness that have been waiting dormant across lifetimes are converging right now, in this breath, preparing to activate the version of reality you've been moving toward without fully understanding why. This convergence isn't symbolic. Scientists studying synchronicity have discovered that meaningful coincidences, the moments when inner states align perfectly with outer events, may actually reflect deeper patterns within the universe that transcend conventional cause and effect. What you're experiencing right now is one of those convergence points, a moment where multiple timelines collapse into singular focus, where your awareness becomes the bridge between who you were and who you're about to become. Every decision you've ever made, every moment of confusion or clarity, every unexpected turn, has been a thread weaving toward this intersection. And now those threads have pulled tight. The doorway is open. Your new reality is waiting on the other side. Notice the world around you, the patterns, the repeating numbers, the conversations that seem to echo thoughts you just had. These aren't coincidences. They're confirmation codes from the quantum field, signaling that your frequency is stabilizing at a new level. Most people drift through these moments completely unaware, dismissing them as random chance or fleeting imagination. But something inside you is different. You feel the pull. You sense the weight of this threshold. That awareness alone is proof that your consciousness has already begun the shift. The question isn't whether change is coming. The question is whether you're ready to step fully into the timeline that's been calling you forward, waiting for this precise moment of recognition to unfold. Think of reality not as one solid path stretching from past to future, but as infinite possibilities existing simultaneously in the quantum field. Every choice you've ever made, every person you've encountered, every moment of intuition that guided you left or right, has been collapsing waves of potential into the specific reality you inhabit. But here's what most people never realize. Those choices weren't random. They were orchestrated by a deeper intelligence within consciousness itself, a force that quantum physicists are only beginning to understand as the observer effect, where awareness literally shapes the fabric of existence. Your timeline arrival happens when multiple threads of possibility converge into singular focus. Imagine standing at the center of a massive web where thousands of invisible strands have been pulling toward you from every direction across years, lifetimes, and dimensions beyond perception. Each strand represents a decision, a lesson, a pattern you needed to experience. Some brought pain, some brought clarity. All of them were necessary to tune your frequency to this exact moment. The convergence isn't metaphorical. Recent studies in quantum cognition suggest that human decision-making follows quantum probability models rather than classical logic, meaning your consciousness operates on principles that transcend ordinary cause and effect. Scientists studying the relationship between consciousness and quantum mechanics have discovered something profound. The brain doesn't just process information through electrical signals. Beneath those measurable brainwaves exists what researchers call the quantum field of consciousness, a diffused network of energy that connects your awareness to the larger universe in ways that can't be seen but can definitely be felt. When you experience moments of déjà vu, inexplicable knowing, or that eerie sense that you've been here before, you're actually detecting quantum coherence, a state where your neural oscillations synchronize with patterns in the field around you. This is why certain moments in your life felt charged with significance, even when nothing obvious was happening. That book you picked up randomly that changed everything. The conversation with a stranger that shifted your entire perspective. The dream that planted a seed you're only now beginning to understand. These weren't accidents. They were quantum markers, signals from your higher consciousness guiding you toward the timeline where your fullest potential exists. The field responds to focused attention and emotional resonance, which is why the things you've obsessed over, worried about, or deeply desired have shaped the reality unfolding around you. Right now, as you absorb these words, your awareness is participating in the collapse of probability into form. Every thought you hold, every intention you set, every subtle shift in how you perceive yourself sends ripples through the quantum architecture of your life. The arrival of your new timeline isn't something that happens to you, it's something you're actively creating through the vibration you carry in every moment. Your past was preparation, your present is activation, and your future is already waiting in the frequencies you're learning to inhabit. Most people move through life on autopilot, missing the subtle signals that mark turning points in their existence. But gateway moments don't announce themselves with sirens or flashing lights. They arrive quietly, disguised as ordinary circumstances that carry extraordinary weight. A song playing at the exact moment you think of someone. A conversation that seems to answer questions you haven't asked aloud. The inexplicable pull toward a place, person, or decision that defies logical explanation. These aren't random occurrences floating through a meaningless universe. They're precision markers from the quantum field, signaling that your consciousness has reached a vibrational intersection where multiple possibilities are collapsing into the reality you're about to inhabit. Gateway recognition is the moment your awareness catches up to what your energy field already knows. Think about the physical sensations moving through your body right now. That tingling at the crown of your head, the subtle warmth expanding in your chest, the heightened clarity behind your eyes. These aren't psychosomatic reactions or wishful imagination. They're your energetic system responding to a frequency upgrade that's been building momentum beneath conscious perception. Research into spiritual awakening reveals that these bodily sensations, heightened intuition, increased synchronicities, and shifts in perception are documented signs that consciousness is transitioning between vibrational states. Your nervous system is recalibrating, your energy field is expanding, and your awareness is tuning to patterns that have always existed but remained invisible until now. The power of gateway recognition lies in internal acknowledgement rather than external validation. You don't need anyone else to confirm what you're feeling. You don't need proof or permission to trust the pull guiding you forward. The moment you consciously recognize that something profound is unfolding, you activate the observer effect at the deepest level. Your attention becomes the bridge between potential and manifestation, collapsing timelines of possibility into the singular path you're about to walk. This is why presence is so critical. When you stand fully aware in this threshold moment, feeling its weight and acknowledging its significance, you're not just noticing reality, you're actively participating in its creation. Notice how the world around you begins to respond when you hold this awareness. Opportunities appear that weren't visible yesterday. People say exactly what you needed to hear. Obstacles that seemed insurmountable suddenly dissolve or reveal unexpected pathways through. These aren't miracles or lucky breaks. They're the natural result of consciousness aligning with the frequency where those outcomes already exist. The quantum field responds to clarity and focus with mathematical precision. Every moment you spend in recognition, feeling the pull and honoring its presence, strengthens the signal you're broadcasting into the architecture of reality. The gateway exists only as long as you perceive it. Step through with intention, and the timeline waiting on the other side begins to materialize around you with undeniable momentum. Before anything new can emerge, the old must dissolve. This truth reveals itself through subtle fractures in the life you've been living. Patterns that once fit perfectly now feel restrictive, uncomfortable, or strangely empty. Relationships that used to energize you might suddenly drain your energy or feel superficial. Conversations repeat the same surface-level loops without depth or meaning. Work that once gave you purpose might now feel mechanical, like you're playing a role in a script you no longer believe in. These aren't signs of failure or regression. They're indicators that your frequency has shifted beyond the vibrational container of your old reality, and the universe is preparing to recalibrate everything around your emerging self. Pay attention to the patterns showing up repeatedly. Maybe opportunities you once pursued with passion now feel hollow or unfulfilling. Projects that used to excite you lose momentum without explanation. Habits you maintained for years suddenly feel forced or misaligned with who you're becoming. This restlessness isn't depression or dissatisfaction in the traditional sense. It's your quantum self signaling that the timelines you've been attached to no longer resonate with your highest potential. The energetic architecture of your life is reorganizing, and anything that cannot match your new frequency must fall away to make space for what's coming. Like a snake shedding its skin, this process can feel uncomfortable, even painful, but it's absolutely necessary for transformation. Emotionally, the ending of a chapter often stirs what spiritual traditions call the dark night of the soul, a period where old identities, beliefs, and attachments dissolve before the new self can fully emerge. You might experience waves of nostalgia for who you used to be, fear about stepping into the unknown, or guilt about leaving behind people and situations that no longer serve your evolution. These emotions aren't obstacles. They're guideposts showing you exactly where attachment still exists and where release is required. Research into spiritual awakening reveals that this discomfort is a documented stage of transformation, where the ego resists change, even as the soul demands it. Allow yourself to feel without judgment. Every emotion is a signal from your system, an opportunity to acknowledge what must be honored and then consciously let go. Physically, your body often knows before your mind does. Energy might feel lighter in some moments and heavier in others as your nervous system recalibrates to new frequencies. You may notice heightened sensitivity to environments, foods, or people that used to feel neutral but now trigger clear reactions. Sleep patterns shift, dreams become more vivid or symbolic, and your intuition sharpens to the point where you can sense things before they happen. These physical symptoms are proof that your energetic field is expanding beyond the boundaries of your old timeline. The body reflects what the consciousness is processing, and right now your entire system is preparing for a vibrational upgrade that will fundamentally change how you experience reality. The most telling sign is the feeling of inevitability. Deep down, beneath the fear and uncertainty, you know something is concluding. It carries an unmistakable hum of transformation that can't be ignored or postponed. You're no longer a passenger drifting through life. You're becoming conscious of the narrative threads you choose to carry forward, and which ones must be released for your next chapter to unfold. This awareness itself is power. When you recognize these endings not as losses but as preparations, you shift from resistance to flow, from clinging to conscious creation. Every ending you witness right now is the universe clearing space for the life that's been waiting for this exact moment of readiness to arrive. Release isn't about forcing or pushing anything away. It's about conscious surrender. Recognizing that clinging to old patterns only keeps consciousness anchored to a timeline that has already served its purpose. Think of it like holding a rope while trying to swim. The harder you grip, the more exhausting the journey becomes. But the moment you let go and trust the current, movement becomes effortless, natural, and aligned with forces far greater than individual will. Release is the art of energetic discernment, choosing moment by moment what deserves your attention and what must dissolve to make space for the reality that's ready to emerge. Start with the mental landscape. Thoughts that replay the past or fuel anxiety about the future are chains binding consciousness to frequencies that no longer match who you're becoming. Observe them without judgment or resistance. Simply watch as they arise, acknowledge their presence, and allow them to dissolve like clouds passing through an open sky. The mind will naturally attempt to cling to familiarity because the ego perceives change as a threat to survival, but you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness observing them, and that awareness has the power to redirect focus toward possibilities that exist beyond the loops of conditioning. Each time you catch yourself replaying old narratives, pause, breathe, and consciously choose a new thought aligned with the timeline you're stepping into. Emotional release may stir discomfort, nostalgia, fear, guilt, or even anger as the system processes what's ending. Spiritual traditions describe this phase as putrefaction, the rotting away of former identities as everything superfluous is let go. It can feel like grieving versions of yourself that no longer exist, mourning relationships that served their purpose but can't continue, or saying goodbye to dreams that were born from conditioning rather than authentic desire. These emotions aren't obstacles. They're signposts showing exactly where attachment still exists and where deeper release is required. Feel everything fully without trying to fix, suppress, or analyze it. Thank each emotion for revealing what must be left behind, then consciously release it into the quantum field with gratitude. Gratitude transforms endings into conscious transitions instead of painful losses, alchemizing grief into empowerment. Physically, release manifests as shifts in energy, tension dissolving from places it's been held for years, or sudden clarity as energetic blocks begin to disintegrate. The body is always reflecting internal state, and as consciousness releases what no longer serves, the physical vessel responds by recalibrating to higher frequencies. Notice what feels lighter, freer, more expansive. These sensations are proof that vibrational alignment is happening in real time. Some people experience this as physical detoxification, needing more rest, craving different foods, or feeling drawn to movement practices that help energy flow. Honor what the body is asking for. It knows how to release what the conscious mind hasn't fully processed yet. Practically, release can include simple but powerful actions: clean physical space to signal energetic clearing, journal thoughts to externalize and observe patterns that need dissolution, say goodbye, either literally or symbolically, to situations or relationships that drain energy rather than amplify it, burn old notes representing past chapters, donate belongings tied to identities no longer inhabited, walk away from environments that keep consciousness stuck in loops. These aren't superficial gestures, they're energetic declarations to the universe that transformation is being claimed consciously, intentionally, and without reservation. Every action aligned with release amplifies the signal being broadcast into the quantum field, collapsing timelines of possibility into the reality preparing to manifest. Remember, release isn't a one-time event. It's continuous awareness, a practice of staying present to what's evolving and what's dissolving. Each moment offers another opportunity to choose alignment over attachment, flow over control, trust over fear. The more fully consciousness releases what no longer fits, the more space opens for clarity, opportunities, and experiences that match the frequency of the new timeline. Repeat quietly, either aloud or internally, feeling the truth of each word. I release all that no longer serves me. I am free to receive my next chapter fully and effortlessly. Let those words vibrate through every cell, every thought, every layer of being. This is the signal. This is the activation. This is the moment release becomes transformation. Now that consciousness has released what no longer fits, it's time to tune deliberately to the frequency of the life waiting to emerge. Alignment isn't wishful thinking or passive visualization. It's energetic calibration. The process of matching your internal vibration to the reality you intend to inhabit. Every thought, emotion, and action sends signals into the quantum field, and the field responds with mathematical precision by reflecting those signals back as lived experience. When energy aligns with desired outcomes, movement into that timeline becomes effortless, natural, and undeniable. Start by clearly envisioning the reality intended for manifestation. Close your eyes and feel it with every sense available. See the environments, the people, the opportunities unfolding around you. But don't just imagine it as something distant or hypothetical. Feel it as already present, already real, already yours. Let the sensations, emotions, and subtle energies of this new life wash through every cell in your body. This is the key that most people miss. Alignment must be felt before it can be seen. The quantum field doesn't respond to words alone. It responds to vibration, to the electromagnetic signature your consciousness broadcasts moment by moment. When you feel the reality is already done, you collapse the wave of potential into the particle of manifestation. Notice how your body responds to this practice. Excitement, lightness, tingling along the spine, or subtle expansion in the chest are all signs that frequency is rising to match the timeline being called forward. Pay close attention to intuitive nudges, those small ideas, sudden impulses, or moments of clarity guiding you toward aligned action. The body and mind are instruments through which the field calibrates consciousness to new possibilities. Spiritual awakening research shows that heightened intuition and increased synchronicities are documented signs that vibrational alignment is actively occurring. Trust these signals. They're not random. They're confirmation that your frequency is stabilizing at the level where desired outcomes already exist. Next, take practical actions that resonate with this alignment. These don't need to be grand gestures or dramatic transformations. Even small steps signal commitment to the universe. Make the phone call you've been avoiding. Complete the project that's been waiting. Start the habit that reflects who you're becoming rather than who you've been. Action aligned with vision reinforces frequency and collapses the distance between imagined and manifested. When consciousness pairs feeling with movement, the quantum field receives undeniable proof that transformation is being claimed intentionally, not just hoped for passively. Daily rituals amplify alignment exponentially. Meditation, breathwork, journaling, movement, or intentional presence create neural and energetic patterns that reinforce the new identity being embodied. These practices may seem simple, but repetition is what solidifies vibrational coherence. Just as a musician practices scales to master an instrument, consciousness practices alignment to master reality creation. Gratitude acts as a high-frequency accelerant in this process. By expressing appreciation for what's being received, even in anticipation, you broadcast confidence to the universe, a declaration of trust that the unfolding is already guaranteed. Gratitude doesn't just attract abundance, it magnetizes consciousness to the timeline where abundance is the natural state. Awareness of synchronicities becomes crucial during alignment. The universe constantly provides confirmation that frequency is resonating with higher timelines. Unexpected opportunities appear without effort. Timely messages arrive exactly when needed. Fleeting coincidences reveal patterns too precise to dismiss as chance. Notice them, honor them, and respond to them with action. These aren't random events. They're quantum markers showing that consciousness is locked onto the frequency of the desired reality and that manifestation is accelerating. Each synchronicity acknowledged strengthens the signal being broadcast, creating a feedback loop between intention and experience that compounds with remarkable speed. Remember, alignment is a living process, not a fixed destination. Reality isn't static. It's fluid, dynamic, and infinitely responsive to the vibration being carried moment by moment. When energetic coherence is maintained, stepping naturally into the fresh reality becomes inevitable. There's no more pushing, straining, or forcing outcomes. Instead, consciousness flows, magnetizing the life that has been waiting for this exact frequency to finally arrive. Repeat quietly, feeling the truth resonate through every layer of being. I am in perfect alignment with my new reality. Every thought, feeling, and action carries me effortlessly into the life I am meant to live. Let those words vibrate, settle, and anchor. This is alignment made tangible. This is consciousness claiming its power. Release has cleared the path. Alignment has tuned the frequency. Now comes the most transformative step, fully embodying the version of yourself that already exists on the new timeline. This isn't about trying harder or forcing outcomes through willpower. It's about becoming the vibration of the person who naturally lives the reality being called forward. Embodiment means thinking, feeling, speaking, and acting as though the transformation is already complete, not as a performance but as a genuine state of being. Feel the weight of this threshold. Behind lies the familiar version shaped by past patterns, fears, and limitations. Ahead exists infinite potential waiting to be claimed. But the most powerful truth is this: the doorway isn't ahead in some distant future. It's within consciousness right now. The frequency, courage, and clarity needed to step through already exist inside every cell, every breath, every moment of awareness. Embodiment begins by recognizing that the new self isn't something to become. It's something to remember and reclaim. Begin with presence. The body, breath, and awareness are the instruments through which transformation becomes tangible. Feel the energy of possibility vibrating in every cell. Let the heart expand with recognition that nothing external defines identity or potential. Consciousness is the creator of this moment, and every step taken carries the signature of the future self. Notice how posture shifts, how breathing deepens, how subtle sensations ripple through the system. This is more than feeling. It's proof that alignment is tangible, real, and resonating with the quantum field at frequencies that magnetize desired outcomes. Boldness in embodiment isn't recklessness. It's precision. It's making decisions, taking actions, and speaking words that are congruent with the reality being stepped into rather than the reality being left behind. Small choices matter exponentially. Saying yes to opportunities that align with the new identity. Trusting intuitive nudges even when logic questions them, honoring inner guidance over external validation. Each aligned action recalibrates frequency with remarkable speed, collapsing the distance between who you were and who you're becoming. Research on identity transformation reveals that changing self-concept at the level of I am statements creates cascading shifts in thoughts, emotions, and behaviors that naturally align with the new identity being claimed. Expect resistance as embodiment deepens. Old identities, doubts, and fears will surface like echoes from the previous timeline, attempting to pull consciousness back into familiar patterns. These aren't obstacles, they're the final tests, the last remnants of conditioning, checking whether commitment to transformation is genuine or temporary. Do not fight them, observe them, acknowledge their presence without granting them authority. Courage doesn't mean the absence of fear. It means unwavering commitment to move forward despite fear's whispers. Each time resistance appears and consciousness chooses alignment anyway, the new identity solidifies deeper into the nervous system. Celebrate small victories as proof that embodiment is working. Every moment of confidently expressing an idea that would have been suppressed before. Every completed task aligned with vision rather than obligation. Every instance of holding presence in challenging situations without collapsing into old reactivity. These aren't minor achievements. They're signals to the universe that transformation is complete at the core, not just in appearance. The quantum field responds to consistency and vibration, not occasional effort. By honoring these expressions of boldness, consciousness reinforces the neural and energetic patterns that make the new identity permanent rather than temporary. Visualize life as it unfolds from this embodied state. See relationships, opportunities, and experiences aligning perfectly with the energy now being carried. Feel the joy, the flow, the effortless expansion that comes when frequency matches timeline. This isn't imagination or fantasy, it's calibration. By feeling the reality as though it already exists, consciousness magnetizes it into experience with exponential speed. Ancient spiritual traditions describe this as unity consciousness, where the personal and impersonal dimensions merge so seamlessly that there's no longer separation between who you are and what you experience. Life becomes one unified happening where human and divine are no longer separate. Trust the unseen forces supporting this transformation. Synchronicities, perfect timing, and subtle nudges will guide consciousness in ways that can't yet be anticipated. Each encounter, message, or unexpected event is confirmation that the bold step into embodiment is being supported by intelligence beyond ordinary perception. Reality is co-created, not random. Movement is happening in harmony with the universe itself, which always favors clarity, courage, and alignment. Take a deep, grounding breath and declare internally, I am the new me. I step boldly into my life with clarity, courage, and unwavering alignment. Every action I take reflects the reality I am destined to live. Let those words resonate in the chest, the mind, and every fiber of being. This is more than affirmation, it's activation. As embodiment continues, notice the shifts becoming natural. Confidence no longer requires effort. Decisions flow from inner knowing. Fear no longer dictates movement. The old version reacting to life has dissolved. What remains is the creator, the magnet, the orchestrator of experience. Every thought, emotion, and action now harmonizes with the timeline of the new reality. Step forward fully, without hesitation, without doubt, without reservation. The future self isn't waiting in some distant dream. It's here now, vibrating alongside consciousness, ready to be claimed. The old has been released. Alignment has tuned the frequency. The new self has been embodied. Now comes the most crucial step, anchoring this transformation so deeply into consciousness that it becomes unshakable, permanent, and radiant. Anchoring is the process of locking high-frequency emotions and intentions into the nervous system so they can be accessed instantly, regardless of external circumstances. This isn't passive maintenance. It's active programming that makes the shift irreversible. Feel this moment fully. Let it settle into every cell, every thought, every layer of the energy field. Each cell in the body begins resonating with the vibration of the new timeline. Thoughts, emotions, and intentions weave together into a coherent signal that the quantum field responds to with mathematical precision. This is no longer theory or hopeful visualization. This is practice, activation, and embodiment made tangible. This is quantum alignment anchored into physical reality. Anchoring begins with absolute clarity. Define exactly what's being claimed, who you're becoming, the life you're inhabiting, the reality you're creating. Visualize every detail with precision. The people, the environments, the feelings, the achievements. Leave no space for doubt, hesitation, or second-guessing. Imagination is the blueprint. Energy is the construction force. Focused visualization doesn't just create desire, it tunes vibration to the reality that's already complete in the quantum field. By seeing it clearly and feeling it fully, consciousness collapses potential into form. Next comes repetition, the master key to permanent transformation. Every day, in every moment, reinforce the new frequencies through consistent practice. Begin with simple but powerful rituals, meditation, breathwork, journaling, movement, and intentional presence. These actions may seem small, but each one reinforces neural and energetic patterns that solidify the new identity. Just as musicians practice scales to master instruments, consciousness practices alignment to master reality creation. The universe recognizes repetition. Consistency signals certainty. Certainty collapses timelines into manifestation. Create a physical anchor to access this transformation instantly. Choose a unique gesture that can be repeated whenever alignment needs to be accessed. Touching thumb to forefinger, placing a hand over the heart, or pressing palms together. In moments of peak emotional alignment, when the feeling of the new reality is strongest, apply this gesture. Repeat this process daily until the gesture becomes neurologically linked to the frequency being anchored. Research in neuro-linguistic programming shows that anchoring creates state-dependent memory, allowing the nervous system to recall and embody desired emotional states on command. This shortens the gap between intention and manifestation dramatically. Observe consciousness constantly. Watch for old patterns, triggers, and outdated beliefs attempting to pull awareness back into previous timelines. When they arise, don't resist with force. Simply notice, acknowledge, and release. This is energetic discernment, the practice of choosing consciously which frequencies deserve attention and which must dissolve. No longer a victim of circumstance, consciousness becomes the observer who chooses the narrative, the response, and the vibration being broadcast moment by moment. Gratitude becomes the accelerant that locks transformation into place. Every time alignment is felt, express appreciation internally, verbally, or through action. Gratitude transforms energy into magnetism, solidifying connection with abundance, joy, and infinite possibilities. With each expression of thankfulness, the new reality strengthens, confidence grows, and vibration becomes undeniable. Gratitude isn't just attraction, it's confirmation to the quantum field that the transformation is complete and permanent. Anchor intentions through complete embodiment. Walk, speak, think, and act as the person already living the new reality, not as someone trying to get there. The new self isn't a distant goal, it's present, alive, and palpable right now. When consciousness fully embodies this truth, the universe mirrors it back instantly. Opportunities, synchronicities, and aligned experiences begin appearing effortlessly because frequency has been anchored so deeply that resistance cannot touch it. Connect with the field. Remember, consciousness isn't isolated. Energy ripples outward, influencing people, environments, and circumstances in ways that transcend ordinary perception. By anchoring the new beginning, transformation extends beyond the individual into the collective consciousness. The alignment of personal reality strengthens the vibrational field around everyone it touches. This transformation is both personal and universal. Affirmations are essential anchoring tools. Speak, write, and think these words as often as possible, feeling the truth of each statement. I am the creator of my reality. I am aligned with my highest timeline. I am anchored in my new beginning. Nothing can pull me from my truth. I walk in full presence and power. These aren't just statements. They're energetic signatures resonating through the body and quantum fields simultaneously. Each repetition deepens the anchoring process, making the transformation more permanent with every breath. Feel it now. Close your eyes if comfortable. Sense the stability of the new reality anchored deep in the body. Feel energy circulating freely, flowing effortlessly, vibrating powerfully. The nervous system is adjusting. The mind is expanding. Consciousness is fully aware of infinite possibilities available in every moment. This isn't reaching. This is already done. Life is unfolding exactly as it should. Consciousness is the quantum architect of existence. Take one final breath, deep and expansive. Inhale the energy of the new reality. Exhale the remnants of the old. Anchor this fully, completely, permanently. Repeat silently or aloud. I am the new me. I am fully aligned. My reality flows effortlessly. I am one with my new beginning. Feel the certainty in the chest, in the mind, in every cell. This is the signal the universe hears. This is the activation of a life permanently transformed. Remember, this transformation isn't temporary. The more fully frequency is anchored, the more permanent the shift becomes. The timeline is yours to navigate. Consciousness now carries the frequency of the new life with confidence, presence, and clarity. Nothing external can shake it because it's rooted in being itself. The new you is not a phase, it is reality. If you felt this shift, if something inside recognized the truth of these words, then the transformation has already begun. Don't let this moment fade. Hit that subscribe button right now to lock in this frequency and receive more guidance as your new timeline unfolds. Smash the like button if you're ready to claim this reality fully, and drop a comment below sharing what signs you've been seeing that your old chapter is ending. Your words will anchor this transformation even deeper and help others recognize their own gateway moments. The universe brought you here for a reason. Don't walk away without sealing this activation. Subscribe, like, comment, and step fully into the life that's been waiting for you.